Dear students, in last lecture we studied about the formation of Graafian follicle, from how primary follicle develop into Graafian follicle and what are the different phases of like primary follicle, secondary follicle, tertiary follicle, then mature Graafian follicle and ovulation. And after that we have studied about the structure of sperm, that zona pellucida, corona radiata, etc. Now we have to study about menstrual cycle. This is the most important topic. We can say in 99.99% chance is there, so you will get a question in question paper regarding the menstrual cycle. So let's discuss some definition first. If you remember in class 10 you have studied about that what happen if egg do not get fertilized. Okay, so where we studied that the menstrual bleeding would be takes place. So how this would take place and why this take place, what are the different changes in these phases, you have to study here. So let's discuss some definition. So very first is a menstruation, also known as we can say menses. This menses mean bleeding. Okay, so a process in woman of discharging blood, that means discharging blood and other material from lining of uterus. If you remember, the innermost lining of uterus is known as endometrium. That means discharging of blood and other material from lining of uterus at interval of, that means at an interval of 1 month. We can say 28 or 29 days. हर 28-29 दिन के बाद after puberty there is a discharge of blood from the lining of uterus. Okay, कब से होगी? From puberty until menopause. From puberty, that means it will start from puberty until menopause. So again read this. Menstruation means a process in which a woman discharges blood and other material from lining of uterus at interval of every 28 days. कब से? From puberty. कब तक? Till menopause. तो फिर ये menopause क्या है? Now एक ध्यान रखनी है कि except during pregnancy, that means if woman is pregnant, that means that then she does not undergo these menses. Why not? We will discuss later. Then what is this menopause? तो उससे पहले एक और चीज समझो. Then other term is known as menarche. Menarche means first occurrence of menstruation. The girl student in the class, they all are in this menstruation phase. So the first ever this menses you have faced, that is known as menarche. That is known as a menarche. That means first occurrence of menstruation is known as a menarche. Then another term is menstrual cycle, that we have to study. Here the word is cycle, here the word is menstrual. Cycle means जहाँ से कोई चीज शुरू होती है वहीं पर खत्म हो जाती है. As we studied cycle in class 11, जैसे C3, C4 cycle, Krebs cycle पढ़ा था, तो that means menstrual cycle mean the events occurring between one menstruation to the next. That means एक यहाँ से कोई menstruation शुरू हुआ है और इससे पूरा हो गया, अगला जब menstruation आए इसके बीच में क्या-क्या changes हुए, that is known as menstrual cycle. तो menstrual cycle means the cycle of events from one menstruation to next, from one menstruation to next. और हमने पहले ही पढ़ा कि next कब आएगा? After 1 month or 28 days. So menstrual cycle. Now next term is menopause. Here the word is pause. Pause means to stop, to cease, रुक जाना. Okay. If you remember, in last class we have studied that the oogonia are formed only in the, we can say, embryonic or fetal life in the baby girl. After that no more oogonia are formed. अब वो oogonia धीरे धीरे इसके बाद क्या होने शुरू हो जाएंगे? खत्म होने शुरू हो जाएंगे. अब जब oogonia नहीं बचेगा तो फिर एग कहाँ से आएगा? एग ही नहीं होगा तो मैच्योरेशन नहीं होगा. ठीक है, क्यों नहीं होगा? That we will study in detail. So menopause mean to stop. So menstrual cycle cease कब हो जाता है? Around age of 50 year in female. So this menstrual cycle cease at the age of 50 year, and this is known as menopause. Now see one difference here in male and female. In human male, there is a starting of formation of sperm at the age of puberty, and it will last long till death. That means डेथ तक ही ह्यूमन मेल के अंदर जो स्पर्म की फॉर्मेशन है वो होती रहेगी, बट फीमेल के अंदर ऐसा नहीं है। फीमेल के अंदर फॉर्मेशन ऑफ स्टार्ट होगी किससे, जब फर्स्ट मेंस्ट्रुएशन से, और एंड कब हो जाएगा, मेनोपॉज पे। दैट मीन आफ्टर मेनोपॉज ए फीमेल वुड नॉट अंडरगो pregnancy because there is no egg. I am not talking about the rare case or exception. Okay, so menopause, that means end of this cycle. Now here is the female reproductive phase. Reproductive phase means that phase in which any female undergoes reproduction or we can say pregnancy. तो वो क्या होगा, this is the duration between first menstrual cycle to the last. That means from menarche to menopause. So that means extend between menarche to the menopause. This is the reproductive phase. If we talk about human मेल में, तो मेल में ये चलता है टिल डेथ तक। ओके, जब तक उसकी डेथ ना हो तब तक ये जो प्रोसेस है वो चलता रहता है मेल में, बट फीमेल इट सीज आफ्टर द मेनोपॉज। सो मेंस्ट्रुएशन और मेंसेस वी कैन से ब्लीडिंग फेज है, जनरली 2 to 7 days तक रहता है। देन मेनार्की में फर्स्ट अक्रेंस ऑफ menstruation है। देन menstrual cycle मीन cyclic event between one menstruation to next। देन menopause मीन cease हो जाता है after the age of 50 years। The 50 year this data is given in this age is given in NCERT, so we have to follow this only. Okay, then female reproductive cycle phase मीन extend, ये कहाँ से कहाँ तक होता है, menarche to menopause. Now we have to see the what are the different events or phases in the menstruation cycle. Okay, so now come to that point. Now see, this is the general diagram of menstrual cycle. There are 4 different phases, we can say phases. The very first phase is known as menses phase, second is known as follicular phase, third is known as ovulation, is known as a ovulation या ovulatory phase, and then fourth phase is a luteal phase. The menses, here the bleeding would takes place. This is generally about 1 to 5, 2 to 7, अलग अलग इसको मैं 1 to 5 के हिसाब से रख रहा हूँ। So 1 to 5 days menses रहेगा out of 28 days. Then day number 26 to about 13, this would be follicular phase or proliferative phase. What do you mean by this follicular, what do you mean by this proliferate, we will discuss in the detail. Okay, then third is known as ovulation. Ovulation is generally takes place on the 14th day of this cycle. जो एग है वो रिलीज होगा, उसको जनरली 13 से 15 जो दिन है 13 to 15 उसको कंसिडर करते हैं, बट स्ट्रिक्टली यू हैव टू फॉलो ऑन द डे 14. तो दैट मीन फेज 1 है वो दैट वुड बी 1 to 5 days. Then phase 2 would be 6 to 13 days. Then phase 3, that is ovulation, 14th day, and fourth would be 15 to 28 days. Okay, 14th day को होगा ये. So that means the phase is menses. Very first phase is menses, follicular or proliferative phase, then ovulatory phase, then luteal or secretory phase. Now अब इसमें क्या क्या चेंजेस हो गए? There is a changes in endometrium. We can say what type of changes would be there? Changes in endometrium. There are hormonal changes. Okay, endometrial changes है, hormonal changes है, and there are changes in, we can say, different follicular phases. यानी कि जो हमने कल पढ़े थे, that means formation of primary follicle, secondary follicle, tertiary follicle, वो सारा किस में होगा? In this phase में, follicular phase में. Okay, here are the different phases of like primary follicle, secondary follicle, tertiary follicle, corpus luteum follicle will form in this phase. So these are the different 4 phases. कौन कौन से हैं? Menses 1 to 5 day consider करना, then follicular phase 6 to 13, then ovulation 14th day of the cycle, and luteal phase और secretory phase is 15 to 28 days के बीच में चलेगा. Then it come to the next cycle. Okay, I hope you got this one. Now come to detailed structure.